What's going on, YouTube? I'll be right back. Give me just 1 second. Listen, fellas, you want to get your face wash, your skincare routine intact? I use Tiege Henley. It's a daily face wash with an AM, PM moisturizers with instructions in the box that's very clear on how to get it together. I know this is not something common that us men do, but it's very important that we take care of our skin. On top of that, the ladies love it. Get yourself a box of Tiege Henley. It comes in the mail, ships within a week. If you click the link in my description, you would get 40% off your first order and 20% off a lifetime. On top of that, sign up to the app and you'll get even more deals. Me, I got a special. I got the grooming kit. I was able to get my nail clippers and everything that I needed to get myself together to go outside. Tiege Henley is the way when I tell you the perfect men's skincare routine. Get yourself a box of Tiege Henley.
Let me read my brother's super cap because I really appreciate it. Shout out to Grown Men Talking. Already became the sponsor of tonight's show with a total of $20. Thank you for helping us keep the lights on. Grown Men Talking. Shout out to GMT. Thank you, bro.
No cap, Tivity.
GMT say, my guy, no cap. It was a blessing having you on the show Sunday. Had some great feedback. Blessings. Thank you, bro, man. Hey,
no cap,
just in case some of y'all don't know, I was on Grown Man Talking show last Sunday, and I had a blast, man. Shout out to Grown Men Talking, and shout out to his entire panel, all the ladies and all the gentlemen. I had a great show. I had a great time on his show. A lot of different opinions, very opinionated panel. Thank you for even giving me that warm embrace, GMT. Thank you. If you haven't subscribed to Grown Men Talking's channel yet, make sure y'all go subscribe to Grown Men Talking. It's an excellent brother, excellent channel.
GMT and Mingo.
Hey!
Hey, he should come on the panel. Like, he should definitely come on.
Come on up here, sir. Come on up here. By the way, is this a love offering or is this
no,
indentured servitude?
That's my dog. Those are for minutes. For minutes.
No, don't influence him. He can
No, that's my partner. I got his vote by proxy. Ask him. You want me to call him?
What up, Grown Man Talking? Appreciate you. Let me see. Grown Man Talking. That's another show I watch. Y'all check out my man Grown Man Talking right there. If y'all can see that. That's the name of this channel. Very good channel. I watch it every day. That's I got the idea from about having a panel with more than one person on here. I saw him one day doing it. He can have women, interesting topics, what have you. So I appreciate you, Grown Man Talking.
What is going on? What is going on? You. So, today we are in the building and we got a good show for you. As you saw the thumbnail, your boy Dr. Umar. Your boy Dr. Umar went off. He went off. And I'm not going to hold you. I'm with him. I am with him. What has hip hop done for our community in the past 50 plus years? It's a real question. It's a real question. Now, all of us want to be pro-black, but then we have to kind of look at what's really going on. So we will get into that for the main event. But for now, we got a good show for you. You know how we do every every Friday. I'm bugging. I'm like, I almost lost my days. But y'all know how we do every Friday, grown men trash talking. We got a good show. I am going to drop the link. So if anyone wants to come up during this discussion and talk about it with me, feel free. Because, man, I'm trying to tell you, this is going to be a great topic, and I want to delve deep into what has hip-hop done for our community past 50 plus years. All right, y'all know how we do. First, I'd like to tell everyone, as you come in the door, please don't forget to hit the like button. Also, on top of hitting the like button, make sure you're sharing the comment. Make sure you're sharing the content. I'm tripping. Share the content with everyone you know, and let's get this going. We need active participants today. So we're trying to get to 50K, and I'm on the road to that. We had a good show with Media Man the other day, so go check that out. The panel itself is growing. We got new members that's joining the panel as well. Stay tuned for that. We got a lot going on this channel. So just make sure you're subscribing, and then also make sure you tell your peoples, hit the subscribe button. Moderators, do me a favor, continue to hold down the chat as you will. I don't even gotta say nothing because y'all out there killing it. Y'all holding it down for your boy. You know what I'm saying? Big ups to everyone that's here early. We got Blockchain in the building with the GOAT. What up, man? And my guy David Williams is in the building as well. He says, let's go. Peace and Pan-African. So let's get this going, y'all. So y'all ready? Y'all know how we do. We are going to start with some videos to lighten the mood. And we really going to get into this topic, all right? So, y'all know.
Am I like the only woman that no longer gets approached by men? No, because I had to actually sit and think about this, and I had to ask myself, when is the last time a man came up to me and wanted to get to know me or exchange numbers? And it's been a long time. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it definitely has me questioning myself. Like, am I not as attractive as I thought I am? Am I looking old? Am I intimidating? Like, what is it? So now I'm starting to realize that since men don't come up to me, I have to be the one to go up to them. And that makes me super nervous because it's like, how do I know I'm not going to get rejected if you didn't come up to me in the first place and then I make the decision to go up to you? How do I know I won't face rejection? So can I get some tips and tricks, some advice on how to approach a man that I think is cute? Because I have no idea how to. Like, I'm scared and I feel like I can only approach men if I'm drunk, which is not often.
So, unfortunately, young lady, you have to deal with what men have been having to deal with for the past, I don't know, let's say 10,000 years. We have to approach you since the beginning of times. So there's nothing new about this. Unfortunately, what's going on right now, times have changed. You women are constantly saying you don't need a man, you don't want a man. You know, we hold the door for you, and it might not directly be you. It might be the sister that's walking behind you that will hold the door for her and she won't even say thank you. You do what you can to let a woman know you're interested, and then now you're getting recorded to get put on blast. I don't want to be on no one's TikTok, not me per se, but you know, men in general. We're not trying to be on no one's TikTok. We're not trying to be on your Instagram, IG stories, talking about, look at this clown, these men out here thirsty. So instead of that, what do? We leave you to your own suffices. So if you say you're attracted to me, unfortunately now, women, you're going to have to learn how to cold approach. You're going to have to be the one to come up to a man and say, hey, I like that hat. Where'd you get it from? Whatever stupid game y'all want to throw, but you will have to be the initiator. Let's break this video down little by little because y'all know how we do on a Friday. Grown men trash talk.
So am I the only woman that no longer gets approached by men? No.
No, you're not. No, you are not.
Because I had to actually sit and think about this, and I had to ask myself, when is the last time a man came up to me and wanted to get to know me or exchange numbers? And it's been a long time. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it definitely has me questioning myself. Like, am I not as attractive as I thought I am? Am I looking old? Am I intimidating? Like, what is it?
So that's another problem that we have right there, right? You're not intimidating to no man, especially the man that you feel like you're attracted to. Problem is how are you carrying yourself when you're outside? Are you walking around with the resting bitch face? Are you outside looking like you don't want to talk to you? Do you have those braids in your hair when you walk outside your door? Because it doesn't look like you upkeep yourself very well if that's the case. I don't know. I don't know this woman, never seen her at all before. But I know that right now them braids is undone. So a lot of men might think twice about approaching you. And man, how much her hair gonna cost if I had to pay for it? Because she don't look like she got the money to do it for herself. So what's that? 300, 400? Nah, I'm good. I'm gonna fall back because her expectations might be too high. You know what I'm saying? Pretty girl though. She is a pretty girl. I'm not knocking her. Her voice is a little manly. She got little strong arms. You know, maybe she could work on her posture and loosening up a bit, showing that feminine side. But hey, that might be the reason why you're not getting approached. There was something that I was told many years ago. I was told, Mingo, when you go outside, talk to 10 women. If you talk to 10 and you come home with no numbers, then do me a favor. Go back home, brush your teeth, change your clothes, come back outside and talk to another 10 women. You will at least get one or two. Sometimes, ladies, you might have to wonder if your goal is to get approached, what are you doing wrong? How are you carrying yourself? Because there has to be something that's repelling men away from you. You know what I'm saying? So I agree. She's attractive enough for a man to approach her at the clip that she thinks they should. But at the clip that she thinks they should, it's likely another case of an average woman feeling entitled to above average amounts of attention, which is true. So anyone that knows Yancy and Friends, YONCI, please do me a favor and go subscribe to her channel ASAP. I went over there last night. I was on her panel. Great topics. And while I was over there, we got into a conversation about women with the 80-20 rule, right? 80% of the women are attracted to 20% of the men. So what happens is now 80% of the men that is on her level, she's not even looking at. Do you think that this young lady here is not having men inside her DMs right now? Right now. That's like, yo, Ma, you're so beautiful. May I please drink your bathwater? Right now. The problem is they're too lame for her. So she's shooting at that high-figure dude that she can't reach. And she's an average woman. She's an average woman. There's nothing wrong with her. The problem is what they look for. Back in the day, a woman like this would have been married by the age of 21. 20. She would have been taken off the market. There's a reason why there's so many single women walking around right now. Men really haven't changed in the hunt that we pursue for women. The hunt's there. The problem is the game just changed. So men are starting to say, you know what? Let me be careful. Let me be mindful how I approach you. But the hunt's still there. We still want women at, the same rate that we did back in the 50s, 40s, and 30s. Ain't nothing changed. All that changes their attitude. The only other thing that may have changed, if we look at it, is the way these young boys are being raised. So young boys now, from what I'm seeing, man, they don't like getting told no too. They hate rejection as well, which rejection builds character. When a woman tells you no, it helps build your character. So any young fellas that's listening to me right now, do me a favor. Get used to going outside and getting rejected by women. Get used to it. It'll help build your character, your confidence, and everything. Because out of the women that reject you, there's always going to be one, two that says, yeah. That also helps you in the workplace as well, young man, in case you don't know. It helps you when you're out there and you're shaking hands with other men to close business deals. Because some deals you won't close, you might get rejected on. But all that matters is the deals that you close. So go outside, fellas, and get used to getting rejected. Ladies, honestly, they'll never understand it because they're used to being the ones that get approached. So let's finish off her video and then we'll see why they'll never accept it.
So now I'm starting to realize that since men don't come up to me, I have to be the one to go up to them. And that makes me super nervous because it's like, how do I know I'm not going to get rejected if you didn't come up to me in the first place and then I make the decision to go up to you?
You don't know. It's the luck of a draw. We never know. The likelihood is the majority of men that's going to shoot their shot at you, you reject them every day. You just have to get used to it. It's a part of life. If you want certain results out of life, you got to go get it. And if this young lady wants to be married, she might have to learn how to tone that deep bass voice she got down and learn how to approach a man the right way. And you know, when I say this, I don't mean you shooting your shot from across the bar. Ladies, there's a different way that you approach men. The way you approach men is subtle, right? I'm going to teach you what men like. Give us choosing signals. Look at us, eye contact, right? Smile, then look away, right? Play with your hair, talk to us. When you talk to us, laugh. We want to know that we can make you laugh. We can make you smile, right? Even if I'm looking at you and you blush, that's shooting your shot for a woman, not going up to a man and yo, what's up, dude? You look good. Can I get your number? Like, no, dude, that's just gonna be a turn off. But there's a way that ladies, you have to learn how men want to accept pretty much you approaching them. And that approach is not necessarily words, it's in signals. Fellas, if I'm wrong, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Type a 1 in the chat if I'm right. Type a 2 in the chat if I'm bugging. But I know that I'm right. I don't want no woman. Never did. Even when I was in the streets playing the streets, I ain't never want no woman coming up and talking to me. No, but I wanted her to show me choosing signals. I wanted her to flick her hair, smile at me, move in a certain way, let me know, let me see her form and how sexy she is. Those are the things that men look for. So once we know that, we got it right. Ladies, take heed. The fellas is trying to tell you. Let's continue with the video, and then we'll move on.
How do I know I won't face rejection? So can I get some tips and tricks, some advice on how to approach a man that I think is cute? Because I have no idea how to. Like, I'm scared and I feel like I can only approach men if I'm drunk, which is not often.
God damn.
So am I like...
She said she felt like she could only approach men if she's drunk. Who teaches these women, man? Who's out here showing these women how to move around in life, where you feel as if that is even a way to approach a man, where you gotta be drunk to approach a man, a drunk to approach a man. I'm not even 100% sure that this is a woman that she live in Atlanta. Yo, listen, that voice, man, that voice is deep. I hope it's a woman because, man, if I'm reviewing this and it's not, Lord, strike me down. Because, man, that voice is kind of rough. I hope it's a woman. We're gonna use our imagination. We're gonna say that this is a woman because it's the way she's presenting herself. We're just gonna go with that. We're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with that. D, you was thinking the same thing. Oh, yo, y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Man, listen. I'm just gonna say I hope she's a woman. You know, the voice is deep. Yes. Shoulders is a little broad. All right, you know what? Let's get off of this video because y'all tripping me out, man. Let's do this.
Was hard to watch.
I do have a crush on you. Like, I have feelings for you. I've been attracted to you since, I think, before you met Adam.
Before? Huh.
Are these feelings mutual? Why or why not?
He knows they're not mutual.
They're not.
I know.
I'm sorry. Very flattered. But it's like extra, it's definitely extra weird because like
No, like,
we met through an ex-boyfriend and I'm like clean break and then like
D, pause. Pause. Ain't nobody gonna test this out. You told me that, yo, listen, we gonna forget that video even existed. We gonna forget that I reviewed it because, yo, y'all got me double thinking like, what the hell did I just do? Yo, y'all tripping. Hold up. Let's continue with this video.
like we come here
surprise.
and I'm like, hey.
I'm gonna rewind it and I'm gonna just review it because, God dang, y'all messed me up. Man.
This was hard to watch.
I do have a crush on you. Like, I have feelings for you. I've been attracted to you since, I think, before you met Adam.
Before? Huh.
Are these feelings mutual?
Fellas, you gotta know where you land in the dating market. You gotta understand where you land in the dating market. I'm gonna say this one more time. My boy Quint always tells me I repeat myself all the time. But I'm gonna say it one more time. You gotta know where you land in the dating market. Look at yourself. You're overweight. You are scruffy as hell. The woman is not, she ain't bad, but she is not on, you are not on her level. So I don't care how long y'all have been friends, she kept you in the friend zone for a reason. Because if a woman wanted you outside of the friend zone, you would be outside of that friend zone. This is the problem. So
Mutual, why or why not?
He knows they're not mutual.
They're not.
I know.
I'm sorry. Very flattered. But it's like extra, it's definitely extra weird because like
No, like,
we met through an ex-boyfriend and I'm like clean break and then like we come here
surprise.
and I'm like, hey.
No.
Wow. He lacks confidence. Zero confidence. Me and Blockchain, we was on a panel together yesterday. And on that panel, there was a fella. And I'm not going to talk bad about the fella at all. I actually like the dude. But he said something that I'm gonna repost the video, but he said something that kind of, you know, reminded me of dudes that I used to talk to back in the day when I hung out with dudes like him, right? Where he was like, he felt like he was the kind of guy that when a girl will go through a hard time with her man, he was the shoulder to cry on. She'll go to him and say, hey, Johnny hurt me today. He's not a good man. He'll give her all the advice. She'll go back to Johnny, but she'll also tell him, wow, you're a good man. A woman would be so lucky to be with you. Why aren't you that woman? Why aren't you the woman that's so lucky to be with him? This fella that we're looking at right here is that guy. He is the guy that the woman goes to cry on, but then turn around and says, one day a woman would be blessed to be in your warm embrace, right? She will be blessed to be wrapped in your
Wanted to
arms.
wrap you in my warm embrace, and I'll make it last forever, babe. I catch a glimpse of heaven when you.
But unfortunately, the woman sitting across the table is not the one. She don't even want you to touch her, kid. She don't even want you to touch her.
I get it. Rate my attractiveness on a scale of 1 to 10.
Attractiveness is subjective.
Whoa! Attractiveness is subjective. You couldn't even give the man a rating. You couldn't even say, yo, dude, you're a 1. You could have at least gave the man a 1. But you like, yo, you're not even on the scale of attractive. That's crazy. That's crazy. This is what I'm saying. He's a 0. Help me understand the disrespect. If he's still her friend after the show, I don't know, man. Something's gonna have to give because this is insane.
But I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings.
I'm a really big fan of eating girls out. I think it is super sexy when somebody.
Ash, she could have at least gave the man a 1. To give somebody nothing to me is the biggest insult that you could give a man. That is not, it's not ladylike, Ash. I'm sorry. At least give me something. Don't just tell me you don't even fit on the scale, kid. Yo, at least give me something. Yo, my heart, after I heard that, would have been deep in my chest. It would have destroyed me if I heard that. If somebody said that to me, it was like, yo, listen, attractiveness is subjective. And on top of it, she couldn't even look at me in my eyes. She was looking down when she said it. She was like, attractiveness, it's subjective. Like, what? No, it's not. Tell me a number. Tell me a damn number. Yo, insane. Let's keep going.
He is like very clearly having a great time and just squirming underneath you. And I don't think that anybody will ever complain about that.
Well resorted thinks she might like.
Graphic word to use, but okay.
That's wild.
Whoa. The advice that I gave the young man last night was, listen, there's always someone on your level. The problem with a lot of men is we shoot too high. It's not even to say that this woman is too high, right? But obviously her mentality is she thinks she's better than you. But if I had to put her on a scale of 1 to 10, hold up. If I had to put her on a scale of 1 to 10, where we at? Where's she at? Let me not do that to her face. There we go. I guess that's the best I could get her, right? Because there's not much good angles I could put her in. But if I had to give her a scale of 1 to 10, I would at least put her at a 4. But the problem is he's at a 1. And the reason why we're going to put him at a 1 is because his weight. He's way too overweight. He doesn't look like he even takes care of himself. It doesn't mean you can't be a big dude and still be attractive. The problem with him is he doesn't even take care of himself. You're on what is this, a match show or something like that, or a revealing show, whatever, and that's how you come outside? You look like that? That's a problem. So he needs to mess with a girl that carries herself just like him. Insecure, overweight, all of that good stuff. You can find beauty in this man. You can find beauty. She said, I can find beauty in anyone. But remember, once I couldn't find it in someone and then saw their partner and they were equally yoked. I'm sorry. It was very much attractiveness in one relationship. It was too much. Sorry, I'm tripping. I got a headache. Sorry about that. But no, me personally, I don't know. I can't do it. I can't. And I get attractiveness is everything. Back in the days, right? I don't think women was really raised to look at men solely off of how they looked. I believe that women were raised looking at men for character, which is why your Uncle Bob was one of the ugliest, dustiest dudes you ever seen. But he would still get women because he was productive. He believed in himself. There was something about him. So the look wasn't everything for Uncle Bob, but Uncle Bob, hey, he was a hardworking man. And that's something that women used to look for, right? And I'm guessing that's because back in the days, women weren't hitting the working market. They couldn't go outside and work. They couldn't go outside and vote. They couldn't do certain things. So when you had to deal with a man, you had to deal with him in the forms of protection, provision, and all of that. So of course, him being attractive would be nothing. Now, where you look at it like women have to actually go to work every day, they're making money too. So the mindset is like, all right, now I can look past that. The only reason why I'm gonna deal with you now is because I like how you look. And that's the problem. Men need to know that. Men need to know that. Men need to truly understand that and start working on yourself. If you want a woman, he has the nerve, the absolute nerve to come on here looking like this. To come on here looking like this. Hello, what is Ash saying here in the she said he looks like he smells with all due respect, I'm trying to tell you. She said, like if I scratched his neck, my nails would be dirty. Too much unattractiveness. Damn. This is what I'm trying to say. You can't find attractiveness in everyone, even though we say it's subjective, right? Like you're kind of like, I don't like you, but somebody will. He'll have to find somebody that's completely on his level. On his level, or looking at him as some type of come up. If he doesn't want to work on his weight, he's gonna have to get his money up. That's it. If he's like, yo, I'm not gonna lose weight for nothing, I got to get my money up. Get your money up. Get your money up. Nah, I'm not letting her off the hook, man. She is not fine at all. I do believe, like I said, if I have to look at her, I put her on a 4. She's definitely below average, but it's me making her face look bad. But I don't know what race she is or where she's from, but she's not an ugly girl. I wouldn't put her in the, yo, you horrible. But I definitely gonna say, yo, most men are not gonna shoot this shot at her. I definitely won't say that. But she's not horrible. He's pretty bad for a man, right? Like I said, if he doesn't want to lose the weight, he got to get his bread. If he don't get his bread up, he gonna have to lose the weight. But you can't have two negatives and then you're trying to approach a situation like this. Homie's teeth was even bad. So on top of all of that, you got bad teeth. So everything about you is a problem. Whereas to her, she got long hair. She might be a little overweight. Most people would say she's average, right? Or if anything, slightly below average. I ain't gonna say she's above average at all. But definitely average or below. Him? Nah, son. He needs to get it together. So fellas, if you want certain results in life, women tell you too. The same way we tell women what we want, fellas, there's a reality of it too. Women want and expect certain things from you too. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? And if a lot of fellas don't want to accept it, like my man on the screen here, where he at? Like big man over here, then you just got a rude awakening. You just gonna be single forever. He said they both have big backs. I listen. Yo, you stupid, Black Jade. Yo, my guy is something else. They both have big backs. But like I said, something's got to give with him because he the one that wants her. And she ain't going to have him looking like that. Now, he could surprise her. He could lock in for like 6 months, go on a strict diet, put himself in the gym, change his lifestyle, go to the dentist, clean himself up, also work on his productivity. And I guarantee you, he could probably get her in about another 6 months to a year. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, yo, Ash, that bracelet tight as F on his head, on his arm. It is, because there's nowhere else for the bracelet to go. The next place that bracelet could go is his finger. So anyway, we are going to move on. Let's get to the next video. So when we talk about ghetto, when we talk about ghetto trash, when we talk about the bottom barrel of what people do in our community, my man is going to be on child support in the next, I give him 4 months. 4 months. But then the problem is he's going to complain about being on child support. He's going to complain about being on child support, throwing money on your child. It is insane. What is the deal with our people? Exactly. Treating a baby like it's a stripper. That's nasty. That's disgusting. And I don't understand it. But there's something that with our people in our community where we feel that stuff like this is cool. We feel as if that's impressive to women. You're doing some type of symbolism for the child. Money is a material. You're putting this money on your child. It's a baby. And the money's dirty. You know how much hands that money done touched? Just like Ash said. You putting $100 bills on your child? What? Like, he got his income tax, and then that's what he tries to do here. He said those bills have crackhead juice on them for sale. Trap Daddy made. Absolutely disgusting. It is disgusting, man. What's going on with our people? Yo, Wall Street, what's up with our people, man? You know what? Anyone wants to jump on with me and have quick conversations, let's do so. I am going to drop this link in the chat so we could get on top of some of this foolishness. Because I don't understand it. I'm not even really trying to understand it. Sometimes I don't even want to claim that I'm in the Black community, but I'm one of the darkest dudes you'll ever meet. So, with that being said, I gotta be a part of it. Because if I speak up against this foolishness, people tell me that I don't like my own people. People tell me that I don't speak for the culture. Is this our culture? Is this our culture? I get called a hater, right? I get called all types of foolishness because I speak up against stupid nigga shit. And when I speak up against it, I get called Everything in the book. But what is this? Yeah, the comment section wasn't with it. The comment section definitely was like, yo, what part of the game is that? But believe it or not, there was some people in the comments saying, mind your business. Oh, he got money. He gonna raise his kids right. How do you know that? Because he's just putting money on his $100 bills on his kid. And it looks like a daughter because usually they put the pink hat on the girl. So it looks like he's throwing $100 bills on his little baby girl. Isn't that what you do to strippers? I get called crazy. I get called, a hater whenever I say something. I see y'all in the comment section of some of my old videos. For those that's watching or will watch this on the replay, I should say. And I do see what y'all said about me in some of those videos. Y'all call me a coon. Y'all call me all types of stuff because I speak up against crap like this. Because I'm like, yo, this is not us. We are better than this. Or at least we're supposed to be better than this. And you're right. Baby mama may be a stripper. Block Shay, come up, man, when you get a chance. You got 10. I'm here, brother. I'm here because I'm itching to get to this main event. I'm itching to get to it. But I'm going to drop this deadbeat crap and we will move on to the next video. Sorry, y'all. That got me mad. I got in my little feelings about that because I don't like seeing foolishness. And then it's recorded. And then we turn around and we demand respect from other cultures. We turn around and demand respect from the other cultures. We say, hey, look, I'm a human being, respect me. But then we'll turn around and do this to our own babies. Our own babies. Help me understand. All right, y'all. I'm going to move on to the next video. This video is a single mom. And what I loved about the video was her breaking down the fact that, hold on, my boy Quint said something too. He said, if it wasn't for social media, he wouldn't have done it. I agree. But for clout and attention, we'll do it. We'll embarrass our own children. And then wonder why we're on such a decline and have such a downfall in our community. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's some foolery, man, that we just keep doing over and over again. So, like I was saying, man, this video, it kind of touched my heart, and I'm proud that our sister in this next video took complete accountability for her actions. She basically said, if my children had a strong male role model in their lives, that both of her children would not be in jail right now. Both of her children are in prison, and I believe one of them is for murder. But for red rum, I'm sorry, YouTube guidelines, my fault. But let's get on with this video.
If you have watched any of my videos, then you know that I have 2 sons currently in prison right now. One is in prison for armed robbery and one is in prison for murder. And that's a really difficult pill to swallow. My son Tremaine was 19 years old when he decided with some friends of his to go to a college campus with a gun because they didn't have money and they wanted to rob some people. And my son and his friends picked a group of white kids to rob at gunpoint on this college campus. One of the white boys in the group that was being robbed was defiant. So my son beat him with a pistol. And I didn't know all of this at the time. I'm telling you a story that I know now. At the time, I didn't know this. And I was a waitress, and I went home one night, and on my way home from work, my ex-husband called me, and he said, "Do not watch the news when you get home. Call me," or at least that's what the message said. "Do not watch the news when you get off. Call me." And I was scared to death. And when I called him, I said, "Is my son dead?" Because that's what I thought. I thought that, maybe the news had covered it, that one of them was dead, and he didn't want me to see it on the news. But that wasn't it. It was that they had pictures of, or video camera footage after the robbery of my son and his friends in some vehicles going different places with the stolen credit cards that they had.
So I'm gonna pause it right there because YouTube does not like when you play a long video for a long time or straight through. And I'm gonna add my own commentary to it. So this is the problem, right? The culture. What we call culture, right? We're not talking about the backyard barbecues. We're not talking about, talking about Uncle Ray Ray and them. We're not talking about family reunions and none of that. What we're talking about here is straight, utter ignorance, the lack of guidance, the lack of strong men in this woman's life. This is a horrible story, and it happens all too often. All too often. Where we're out here thinking that we could just do whatever because you're poor and you want to help take care of mama. Believe it or not, I'm from, I'm from Far Rockaway, Queens, right? And that's in New York, for those that don't know New York. Far Rockaway is a very small town. It's really not that much people in it. But the crime rate, when I tell you the crime rate, it's comparable to still today, like it was in Brooklyn in the 90s. It's horrible out there. And the majority of people out there, believe it or not, in Queens, don't have any form of strong men in their households. Even the ones that you could say he's a father, the father is the same man putting money on top of their babies. So would you consider him a strong male just because he's in a household? These are weak men. They're raising these boys to be men. Now, these boys are out here because father's not handling any business. He's not making sure the household is good. So that kid now feels like he's old enough to provide for his own mother. So now, instead of, as my boy Quint here says, go get a job, he decides they want to rob somebody. They're going to take it from somebody. They're going to knock you upside your head, take what they want. So you got to think about this. And any young man watching me right now, the moment you put yourself in a position like that, there's only two situations that's going to happen. You're either going to lay 6 feet deep or you're going to be behind bars. Now, the same person that you was trying to protect no longer has you because you're trying to do something that is not your job. Mama should have had a protector for herself, for you. But when you get older, young man, and if that was not in place, it is not your job to protect your mom. This happens far too often. I'm going to continue. We're going to keep going.
And that they're using them, to make purchases. So the first night, the news doesn't know who my son is. They don't know who did the offense. They just know it was done, but they didn't know who it was. So they were showing pictures on the news of my.
She's going to explain, Ash, what role the ex-father played. She's going to explain. I did watch this video.
My son and his friends, and my ex-husband had seen my son and recognized him. And that's why he had told me not to watch the news and to call him first, because he didn't want me to have to find out that way, which was very kind of him. And so anyway, I find out that information from my ex-husband. I go home, I watch the news, I see that footage, and it's pretty devastating. And then the next morning when I wake up, 6 o'clock, I'm watching the news, but by now the police have already figured out my son's name, and his name is running across the bottom of the screen on the ticker tape. On the screen of the news, his name is going back and forth, and they're showing footage of it, of the crime from the night before, and his name, because they now have his name. And he was not living with me when he committed this offense. Me and my daughter were in the house, because I was divorced by this time, so it was just me and my daughter. And one Sunday morning, about, 2 or 3 days after this, it was Sunday morning, and I remember being asleep in my bedroom. My daughter was about 8. She came and knocked on the door. She said, "Mama, the police are at the door." And I went to the door. The cops are there. Guns are out. They're not pointed at me. They're at their sides, but they have guns, and they're asking me, "Is my son in the house?" And I said no, but they wanted to search the house, obviously. And, I said, "That's fine. Can I get my daughter?" And they let me get my daughter. And I didn't know my house was surrounded. They had cops at the back door, because the cop that came in my front door went to my back door and let the cops in. I got cops all around my house. It's a Sunday morning. I live in a fairly white neighborhood. It's Sunday morning. Everybody's walking their dogs, taking care of their garden. And Aisha's got the police at her door. And they search my house. They don't find him because he's not there. He had his own apartment. And eventually they caught up with him. And at 19, my son was sentenced to 16 years for armed robbery and armed criminal action.
16 years. I can't even imagine being behind bars for a day. 16 years you're given because you was trying to get what, a couple dollars? This is not a heist. You're not going to get rich. For the knuckleheads that's watching this right now, if you rob somebody on the street, you won't get rich. If you're that hungry, you're better off grabbing a sign, writing, "Will work for food." But to sit there and think that you can go knock somebody upside the head to get $15 is insanity. It's insanity.
And then his younger brother had been in prison. He's actually been in prison twice. Tyree is my youngest son, and Tyree had been in prison the first time. I can't remember what his first offense was the first time he went, really. But I know that by the second time he went, it was murder. And Tyree didn't just kill anybody. Tyree killed his brother's best friend. So, the brother that I just told you about that did the armed robbery, my youngest son killed that child's best friend. His name was Montez. Montez had spent the night at my house. I knew this little boy, I knew his mother. His mother was a single mother, she was a stripper. She was also a thief, and she had gotten caught stealing, and she was in prison when my son murdered hers.
Who did you grow your children up around? That's another thing. Listen, I am not on no high horse. I am not on a high horse at all. But parents, for years, there's been lotteries for schools in better areas. For years. From when I was a kid, you had options to say, yo, let me take my child and put them in a better situation than where they currently are, at least for school. And if I knew I lived in a bad neighborhood, I would have kept my kids in the house. I don't care. Playtime, we getting in the car and we going far. I'm taking you to a park and you're going to make friends with some different set of kids. Another problem that we have in our culture is this. We tend to want to only raise our children around other Black people. But then the problem is, especially for men, and I say this specifically for men, when we become men, it's hard to adjust to the real world because then we're not around only Black people in the real world. So then now your child has to learn how to deal with someone that doesn't look like them. That's a problem. So when we get older now, how do I shake this man's hand that I've never even seen that complexion in its entirety before? This is a problem. We need to get our kids to be well cultured, well rounded. We need to get them around different groups of people. Bring your kids around Asians. Bring your kids around white people. Bring your kids around different cultures. Let them try different foods. Forget the fried chicken. Get your kids in a better situation so they can learn how to do something different in life. So long as you have this, oh, he ain't Black, I don't want my kids around that. So long as you have that mindset, you're always going to be behind the 8 ball. You're always going to be behind the 8 ball. Thank you. Thank you, Ash. You know, I'm doing my best here because I love my people. I really do. I really do. She should have kept this to herself, but the fact that she out there, she gave me something to review. And indeed, the youngsters are lost, right? They're mainly lost because of bad parenting. If the parents did exactly what I was saying and start really getting the kids into, like how Ash is saying here, into these programs, into the YMCA, you start teaching your children how to be cultured. Every vacation does not have to be a trip to Six Flags. If you don't have the money like that, at least take your kids to parks so they can learn how to mix and mingle with different races of kids. So it's not foreign to them when they get older. This is why you don't see, we are growing in society as a Black man, right? As Black men. The problem with us is it's not enough of us. We need to really start dominating because we're strong. We are looked up to. A lot of other cultures say Black men are it. So imagine if we started doing this in a large amount. We'll take over. The problem is that we're not doing it in large amounts. Our children, I'm trying to put y'all on the game right now. If your sons are not used to shaking a hand that's not the same color as theirs, when they become men, they don't know how to move, then they are always keeping themselves at the bottom of the workforce. Because they're not used to sitting in boardrooms. They're not used to sitting across large tables and being confident in themselves on what they're telling other young men to do, or other men that's like them to do. What I'm trying to give y'all when I'm talking today is confidence that you should be putting into your children. Trust me.
I have so much regret and a lot of shame because I know damn well that a lot of the influences I had in my children's lives led to where they were. My own son told me, the one that, Tremaine is his name, Tremaine is in jail for the armed robbery offense, and he told me, Mom, I couldn't be no bitch ass nigga. That's the one thing that you used to talk so bad about, were dudes that you thought were bitch ass dudes.
Boom! Boom! What he learned was to be the opposite of what his mother talked bad about. The problem is this, right? When you have men, and they don't understand emotions, they tend to think this way. They tend to think that in order for me to not be looked at a certain way, the only other option for me is violence. So these young men are choosing violence over anything. By nature, most men are not emotional. So we're not out here trying to roll with certain types of emotions naturally. Our brains are constantly trying to put things in compartments. We're compartmental. I'm gonna mess this word up. It is what it is. But y'all know what I'm saying though. Our brains are trying to put things in its own blocks. That's how our minds work. The problem is if I hear something, I'm trying to take that information and put it over here. And then now, as I grow in life, I'm going to use that information to the best of my ability. If there's no strong man that's teaching that man, hey, don't get out of your emotion and think logical with what you heard your mama say, that's where the problem is. So now his emotions are going to be, you know what? I can't be a bitch ass nigga. So I'm not going to let this man punk me. So instead of that, I'm going to take his life. Where is the logic in that? There's zero logic in that. 100% emotion. And that's why I say the most dangerous person walking this earth is an emotional man. Give me a 1 in the chat if y'all agree with that. The most dangerous person walking this earth is an emotional man. So if you don't get your children to get out of their emotions and learn logic, then you have more and more kids walking outside, busting niggas upside their head for $10.
He said you talked about him so bad that that's the one thing I never wanted to be. But I never bothered to show him what true masculinity looked like.
Because it's not your job. It's not your job as a woman to show a young boy what true masculinity looks like. That's 100% a man's job. This is why when women say they don't need a man, you got to drop those women like a bad habit. Because you might not need me, but your son does. And not just any man. He needs his DNA father. So any woman that says, I don't need a man, I can live life without a man, I can raise these kids on my own, is bugging. Because you don't know the hurt, that you are bringing to your children. Compartmentalization. Thank you. Thank you for that one. My brother, foundational black. I needed that helping hand. We don't understand that as men, that's what we need. It's not a mother's job to ever feel like she needs to be the one to show what masculinity is to her sons. But it is up to the man that brought them into this world. And if you do not allow that man to be that man, you will always have more and more foolishness in your society.
And so I think he learned violence because that's what he thought masculinity meant. My husband was not a very strong man, and I kind of knew that. And let's be real, that's probably why he married me with 3 children that were not.
Ashley, did you hear that? You hear that? I'm going to bring that back real quick. The man, she recognizes that the only reason why the man that married her with 3 children prior was because that man chose her because he wasn't a masculine man. Because masculine men, on average, not saying it's a guaranteed thing, but on average, a masculine man is not picking a baby moms with 3 kids. Most masculine, strong men will try to make their own families. Regardless, even if they have kids with other women, they still wouldn't pick a woman with kids. This woman right here came to a realization of her choices in life.
And I kind of knew that. And let's be real, that's probably why he married me with 3 children that were not his. He was not very manly and very strong, but he tried. I really, really think that stories like mine need to get out. People need to understand what happens with little boys with no fathers.
Honestly, that was a strong clip. And it says a lot about her. But what it also says is that growth, right? But unfortunately for her, she's washed up now. I'm going to just call it what it is, right? She's washed up. And not a lot of dudes is going to be running to save her from anything. So it would have been best that she treated that man that tried to step up with the utmost respect. But you could see the type of way that these boys was raised. They were a problem. They were raised in an unfortunate situation, as so many of us are. So many of us are. I want, the reason why I reviewed this today, and I'm going to chop this one up as well and put it back online, is because I really feel as if more and more women need to hear this. More and more men need to hear this as well. What happens, men, when you're not in your child's life? What happens when you are this Negro? What happens? What happens when you're that Negro? What do you think you think that little baby girl stands a chance when she gets older? You think she stands a chance? She doesn't. Sorry. Not with that type of role model. Not with that type of man in her life. Not with that type of man. Sorry. You got to give me something else. I'm not trying to hear that. As a society, we got to do better. We got to think better. We got to start really planning out shit. We can't just be here just doing the bare minimum without actual tangible plans. You know what I'm saying? Rocky was good, my guy. salute to you. Without tangible plans. We can't just be here doing dumb shit and expecting to raise a society of good people. The only reason why you should be having children is to raise them with love and to teach them how to be productive. Because believe it or not, your unproductive rugrats, I gotta live in society with them. And if they break up in my house and threaten my family, it's a wrap for them. So teach your kids right. No one wants to live that kind of life. Why are you choosing not to give your kids the best options? Anyways, crazy story. I'm going to chop that one up and I'm going to release it back out there because I'm trying to get that story as much traction as I can. If I could, I'm going to reach out to the lady myself as well. And I'm going to try to do an interview with her because that story is wild. That story is wild. And I would like to dig a little deeper in the, getting the importance of what it is to have a father in your son's life. Your daughters too. Not taken away from the daughters. But without a father, these sons is off the chain. They out there wilding. The prison population is flooded right now. We're just calling it what it is. Without a father for the daughter, them strip clubs is flooded too. Them hospitals is flooded with baby mamas. No wives. We gotta check. We gotta do something different. So, anyways, we are on to the main event. Dr. Umar decided, he said, listen, I am not here for the foolishness. I'm going to put you in your place talking about the hip hop and what it has or has not done for our community. So, that being said, and without further ado,
me to say, oh, hip hop in 50 years has made sure that black people now are respected. And no, that's never going to happen.
What has it done for the people?
It gave you listen to hip hop music and you were inspired at some point, no?
Nigga, I'm leaving.
We're moving, we're literally, we're moving goalposts.
It ain't done shit in 50 years for the community.
It
made individuals rich and that's it.
It then gave jobs to,
They gave a couple jobs. The drug dealer giving out a couple jobs too.
But the drug dealer is essential to the black community in the ghetto.
Hold on. I gotta pause. He said that the drug dealer is essential in the ghetto. How many people in the chat agree with that? How many people agree with that foolishness that he just said? Is the drug dealer essential in the ghetto? Or do you feel as if drugs is something that actually hurt our people? I agree, man. They got to stop giving these Negroes mics, man. What is he talking about?
You can't tell me that. Somebody grew up in the hood.
Hip-hop ain't done shit concretely beneficial to the black community. You gave me
incorrect.
fashion. The first thing out of your mouth was fashion.
I gave you fashion and you started yelling over me.
What else?
But then also, then there's technological advancement. Podcasting, for example. Look at all the black people that now have access to jobs and ways to make money due to that. We're still talking about rap. We're still talking about cinema. We're still talking about these camera operators, these new people coming up with
new real concrete for you.
I just made it concrete.
No, it wasn't. That was all bullshit.
No,
give
what
me
you're about to say.
Give me a relevant institution that hip hop built in any community anywhere in America in 50 fucking years.
I just told you.
No, you didn't.
Yo, I swear to God, he gonna have a heart attack one day, or he might have like an ulcer. Like, what is that thing that happens in your head when you're an aneurysm? Because golly, yo, the way he's screaming right now, it is crazy. It is crazy.
I just told you concrete. People that would not have had access.
I didn't say individuals. I said an institution.
I said people.
Where's the bank of hip hop for the black community?
The definition of the word people means not an individual. So I'm telling you, people that are now of 50 years ago would not have had access to work.
You're dealing in individualism. I ask you, what did they do for the community? You can't give me nothing because they ain't done shit
people
for
from
the
the community can now work in a music industry that there was never going to be a space for them.
What the fuck?
Yo, first of all, listen to this. How much people are employed by the hip hop industry? How much? Anyone in this chat and anyone that is watching it on the replay, please comment. How many of y'all work in the music industry today? How many of y'all work for record labels? Matter of fact, I got a better question for y'all. How many people y'all know that are successful in any music industry that's out there right now? And if you say yes, I could guarantee you it's probably one person. It's a very small amount, less than 1% of the population that's even remotely into this business. So even to put that in a statistical argument makes no sense. But I digress.
That's individualism. That ain't helping us. That's bullshit.
No.
Bull fucking shit.
No.
It's not helping us.
No. What's happening is virtual signaling. That's what's happening. Virtual signaling
ain't
happening.
done shit. A few people could get jobs. Everybody can say that shit. Elon Musk got a couple black people on the payroll. That don't mean shit.
Elon Musk didn't come from black. He's not a black person.
My point is, you can get a job from anywhere, whether they black or not.
But now
That's
you're
not
getting a job.
Benefit.
Now black
but
people.
You're still talking about individualism, bro. A few people. You've been around for 50 years. The most popular music genre in the world. Billions and billions of dollars. And all you can tell me about is a few people can get jobs? That's bullshit when you look at the cost that the black community has had to pay for hip-hop. A whole generation, 2-3 generations of black kids growing up thinking the best thing you can do is be a damn gangster.
Boom. And listen,
the best thing you can do is be a damn gangster.
And I'm not even a big Dr. Umar fan. As a matter of fact, let me not even say I'm not a big Dr. Umar fan. I am not a fan. Period. But I do believe a broken clock is right twice a day. This one, he hit this one right on the head. Let's break down hip hop. Let's break down hip hop. Right? Hip hop started as something positive in our communities. Hell, I used to rap, right? But before I rap, hip hop has been a thing that was way before me. We all know that, right? Me growing up in New York, easy influence to be a part of that lifestyle. But it was positive. It just pretty much was a bunch of people talking about what they've been through. Then you had your commercial rap, right? The hip, the hop, the hippie, you had all of that. That was all stuff that you used to have to dance to. So that's where it's been a thing of, I would say, an uplifting thing, right? Where it was like, I could dance to this, it's good music. It's not degrading anyone. It's just dance music. It's just dance music. Then it got a little sexual, right? When you started talking about, I like big butts and I cannot lie. These other brothers can't deny. When songs like that came out, it started kind of turning a little sexual. I was young though, and I remember Criss Cross. Everybody remembers when Criss Cross came out, right? I wish I could play all of this stuff, but I know I'm going to get a copyright, and I want to make sure that I am fully monetized because I like money. But anyways, it was when, my guy is in the building. He is here. Willie Beeman Blockchain. What is good, my God?
The drug dealer was like key to the community, and I just was like, we got to start making them require licensing and some sort of aptitude test before we let people have microphones and internet access, because that was the dumbest shit I've heard in my life.
Ever heard.
Ever. And I watch a lot of YouTube, so I consume a lot of dumb shit. That was the dumbest thing ever. Like if somebody, I want to clip that. I want to clip that, and I want it to go viral. So like, I feel like when bro said that, that's something like the racists use to explain why black people are beneath them. Like that's going to be a clip they use to support what he just support that dumb stuff they think. Like since when has the drug dealer been key to anything other than his own success, survival, and the degeneracy of the people of his customers and clientele? I was raised around and have several drug dealers in my family. And one thing I'll tell you is that none of them did anything outside for the community except, give away, free stuff to get their name up and then basically turn good people into crackheads and, and dope fiends. They were never key to any community they were in. They're key to the drug industrial complex. They're key for that. They're key to, making sure that these drugs stay full and that we know black people tend to stay in a tertiary or quaternary position in the society that we live in. But they're not key for anything else. And if he thinks that, then he's a bigger problem than Dr. Umar scamming ass is.
Right. And Rafi, I'm not with you on this one. When you say they always give back, I am not with you on that one, my brother. I rock with you.
What are they giving back from?
Right. You got to think of what it's done, right? So if me selling drugs, me knocking people off for the bottom line, and then I give you turkeys on Thanksgiving, I'm not doing anything for you. I'm not building rec centers. I'm not doing anything that can get your kids anywhere positive in life because I'm not positive. So there's nothing that a drug dealer has ever truly done to change any society. You know what I'm saying? I understand it's the game. You know what I'm saying? But that type of game, it's a costly game that they play. And when they play that type of game, it's a problem. And do me a favor, Rafi. Could you please come up? You don't gotta turn the camera on, my guy. We gotta have this conversation outside of the chat, man, because I see you got some things to say. But it's very difficult to keep your kids out of this type of game if you're poor and you don't have nothing to stand on. Your kids I remember growing up in Rockaway. I remember walking in the street, right? And this dude, I was probably like 10 years old. This dude was like probably 40. And he saw me. I knew the house. The house was definitely a drug house. And he's like, yo, shorty, come in. So I walk up to him. He's like, I'm like, yo, what's up, man? He's like, yo, man, I see you walking around all the time. You look cool, man. You know a lot of kids around the way. I'm like, yeah, I do. It's my neighborhood. So he was like, yo, come and see me later. I got some work for you, a way for you to make some money. I was 10. I knew better, though. So I was like, yo, I ain't messing with you. And I stayed away from him. But it's very easy for kids to be influenced by that culture, by that lifestyle, because I saw him driving BMWs. I saw him with the big gold chains, and I thought that was life. I thought that was life. And I agree with you. It is like politicians, but the politicians is not directly in our community affecting these children at all. And like I said, I could have easily been wrapped up in that. But I'm sorry about that, Willie. What were you saying, my guy?
No, that was it, bro. I agree. Bro said that they always give back, but look what they taking from. That's like someone that steal $1,000 from you, but then give you $100 back and help you look for the 1,000. Like that logic is just like, again, I judge people based on their logic and their arguments in these debates. And if that's the way you want to present yourself to the internet, you're gonna get ate up by people with common sense and just basic mathematical abilities.
Yeah, because that's a difficult one right there. Like it's like I can't ever say drug dealers has ever did anything for the Black community. And then to say hip hop, if we have to break it down to rap, what's your thoughts?
Rap did what it was supposed to do, which has been a business ever since it's been taken over by businesses. You know what I'm saying? They found a way to monetize what it was we created back when we created it, and now they're actually, you know what I'm saying, benefiting from it. I don't think there's anything surprising or uncommon about the outcome of it. They do what makes sense for them, and what makes sense for them is to get kids hooked on it and get kids wanting to emulate it, and then so they can continue a pipeline of kids who aspire to be more, nothing more than rappers or businessmen. So, rappers and drug dealers that they hear about in the music. And then now we're in a secondary phase where we're also having to hear about, kids, not kids, but little girls wanting to be Sexy Red and Cardi B. So now they got the kids wanting to be gangsters, and they want the girls that want to be hoes and shit. It's a win-win for them because they're making money.
They're making money. Either way around it, one of the biggest businesses. And to even say, like, what has hip-hop given back? If we look at the business as a whole, it's a $1 trillion business. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the years. $1 trillion business. And Umar has a point. Dr. Umar has a point when he says that, right? What has it been given back out of $1 trillion business? Nothing that a collective group of people can stand on. And it's not saying that we're looking for it, right? This is just part of the conversation. We know that the expectations shouldn't be there, but to have the argument and say that it's relevant for us to have hip hop, I can't say that.
Yeah. But bro, different. Look at the dude arguing for it. He got gauges. He a black dude with gauges in his ear. Like, I'm pretty sure bro don't even feel comfortable saying the N-word around his black friends. So for him to think like that, man, it's crazy to me.
Right. I actually did a review about his talking points. That same dude with the gauges in his ear.
Yeah.
He's on this. I forgot. It's oh my goodness, man. Melissa Ford is on the show with him.
Joe Budden podcast.
Not the Joe Budden. It's another show. It's on
somebody
YouTube.
Somebody
yeah,
else
it's on YouTube.
On the show.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I forgot the name of the show. I actually reviewed it a while back when I did my reactions, and he was on it, and he had them same like crazy talking points. And I'm like, those are the type of men that encourage me to do what I do, because I feel like there has to be something to combat the bullshit. Literally, there was nothing he could say that could win the argument.
He's arguing based on how he feels, which is, I would think, something that he learned from the parent that raised him, and which was probably his mother. I'm a big fan of when guys have dumb stuff to say. I'm like, would you have the same argument with your father, like, you know what I'm saying, or whoever your male role model is that you respect? Because I know that as men, we tend to tighten up around those men, those other men that we respect, and me and you can shoot the shit. We can talk about all types of crazy things, but like, I'm not gonna go talk to my pops about, what I did last weekend. Out of respect, for who he is, or any of this male role model. I don't think these people think about stuff like that, or even were raised around those types of men, because they'd understand that what they're saying right now is going to be on the internet forever. It's never going to be able to be taken down. And Lord forbid you try to change and be like, you know what? Yeah, I realize, he wants to move in a different direction. People are going to bring up these clips every time he says something contrary. He'll never be able to build a power base or gain respect amongst the peers in which he's trying to actually, affect change with. Because I couldn't have some sort of like, back to school rally and he be a part of it. That man said drug dealers are important to the neighborhood. Like, what are we talking about right now?
What are we talking about? That's a fact. There's no way.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. You were saying New Jack City?
He watched New Jack City. He watched Nino Brown pass out turkeys, act like Nino Brown didn't turn the whole complex into a whole complex of hardworking people into hostages, slaves, and crackheads. And then we're just out here killing people for the competition, but that's good for the community. Those are the people that he swears we need. Like, I don't know, bro. That might be a cry for help. He just might need a fall. He might miss his daddy or something now, or just male presence, because just that mindset, and it's coming from someone who's also themselves not like significantly wealthy to have it. Because typically when people, when a lot of us get money, that's when we get silly. With us, we get silly and far-fetched. With the other side, they start liking kids. But with him being personal, like, I don't see that. I don't think that's his excuse. He doesn't have that excuse. Like, I can't understand why he said that, or why would he say it was so stupid, other than the fact that I have common sense and just understand that drug dealers are never good for the community in general. That which they're actually selling drugs in.
Never. They have never been, will never be.
Ever.
And I say that wholeheartedly. I don't want my children around none of that foolishness. I don't bring my, I don't even let my kids, like my son, he don't listen to rap at all. My mother, my wife and I, we don't listen to that in our house, period. I don't even know most of these hip hop artists today for a reason. I keep it out my ears so that way it's not influence to my children.
Yeah.
So whatever I take in is everything that I put out. I truly believe to our families we need to be that will, right? And whatever you bring inside of you, it should be coming out and being taught to your children. So if you're taking in a bunch of crap every day, all day,
you're gonna put it back out.
Right. In some type of way. It don't gotta be you telling your kids to do it, but there's something that's influencing you that could affect your children. I truly believe that.
I think that a big disconnect is people from our era we were raised by drug dealers. These kids are being raised by drug users. And I think that's a big difference. In that area where drug dealing was seen, it's like something noble, in which he's trying to portray today, back when it actually, when the drug dealers were trying to do stuff, they were still a blight on society. However, they took the time to instill the things that they wanted in their children, their families, and so, hey, don't do this. Don't do what I'm doing. These drug dealers today are trying to get kids to do what they're doing and be what they are. And then at the same time, they're not selling drugs in their community. For example, like the people who own McDonald's, their kids don't eat McDonald's. The CEO of Coke doesn't let his kids drink Coke products. The same things that, the other side understands, we tend to never ever grasp until it's too late. If these kids are being in this environment now in which that they're being brought up in, all they're doing is just monkey see, monkey do. And like with their parents, you don't listen to it in your house. I don't listen to new rap in my house. I mean, I let Drake slide sometimes unless he's crying. But outside of that, like I don't play a whole lot of current art. I listen to the same stuff I came up listening to, like Digital Underground, E40. Unfortunately, I was also raised listening to Too Short, which I think you can see in my character a little bit. And then just Tupac, all that stuff. Like, and then I make my sons, when they listen to that music, before they sing it, they have to explain to me what they're singing.
Right.
My pops.
So you basically tell them like, what's the words, and you make them break the words down.
Exactly. And no, not just the words, the concepts. Explain like that was a quadruple entendre. Having because it's a teachable moment. But like my pops caught me one day, and I was singing "Little Red Corvette" by Prince. I had no idea what it was talking about. I just knew my stepmama had a red Corvette, and she listened to the song a lot of time. My dad caught me singing it, and then I had to break down what she was talking about. I had no idea he was talking. The song, how the song goes, so I'm not going to break it down now. But me being like 9 years old, having to explain that, I was like, oh, to the place where her horses run free. Oh, she have sex with a bunch of men. Like, it made me stop singing that song because, like, I'm not. Why am I singing that?
Right
now, you got little girls who know Cardi B lyrics or Sex and Glorilla lyrics before they know they don't know the ABC. They know how to spell, F N word free.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah.
And what's so crazy, it's not even subliminal anymore. You see, like little Corvette, the Corvette song it was subliminal message. Now it's straight up, my coochie pink, my booty holes brown, and that's it. That's it. So there's no ways to try to figure this out. They're giving it to you as they want to. And the parents are soaking it up and giving it right back to the children. And then that's that cycle.
And then end up making videos about the stuff that kids have done. And one thing I think that we as a community should do, we got to keep some of this stuff to ourselves. Like that ain't for everybody. If you're not going to be the main driving force behind disseminating that information to groups and organizations of people that can actually benefit from it, just doing it for just dry ass attention is crazy. Because now you putting all your business out there, and again, these clips live forever. So there are other content creators that'll take that same clip that you did and use it to portray us in a terrible light. Like single black mother fails her kids again, poor white college student gets beat up, stuff like that. And I hate how we're so quick to try to, I don't want to say I will say monetize monetize, the nigga shit we do for, you know what I'm saying, white attention with no dollars behind it. It's just attention and criticism. And then we have the audacity to be upset when we are criticized for the stupid stuff that we do.
That we actually do.
It's coming out of our own mouths. And no one is coming and making these people tell these stories. That lady set that camera up that morning and was like, you know what? I got internet access and I got a free phone and I'm about to record something and post it for everybody to see. Like, there wasn't a GoFundMe behind it. There wasn't a message behind it like, hey, don't emasculate men in front of your sons, all of that stuff. She took a little bit of ownership for what she said and then, just, again, overshared a whole lot of stuff that none of us probably really needed to know because her story isn't uncommon.
Her story is the average story. The only part of her story that I wasn't mad at was the fact of the end, right? The story itself was ridiculous, but the accountability at the end, I believe a lot of women needed to hear that because it's too much of that. I don't need a man, or I could do this on my own, or, allowing certain types of men in their lives. Whereas she's saying, no, it's important to have a masculine man around your sons, or this will be your outcome. Because I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
She said, bro, took we try not to make a concerted effort not to say anything that's, directly bashing single mothers. But again, I'm always going to be pro man and putting a message out that men can understand that'll benefit them because we're the ones that have to affect change and, lead. But a woman with 3 kids, that shouldn't, if that's the best you can do, is cool. But I don't think that any masculine guy is going to choose that woman when he has better options. And if that woman is your best option, that means you need to not execute your option or exercise that option, and instead go take time to make yourself better so you can improve your options. Because again, 3 kids, and now she's raising 3 kids, 2 of them in prison and 1 of them dead, I think. Like, what are we talking about?
No, she said, but she said one of them was gone.
Well, no, they killed somebody, but I'm saying either 2 of them dead, and then the other one. The other's a daughter, so the daughter cool, but look at the trauma that little girl got to grow up with.
She got to go through, and then her 2 brothers, one in jail, one in debt. I'm both in jail. Sorry.
Yeah, both of them.
And one is in jail for murder, one is in jail for armed robbery.
So yeah, that's as unfortunate as it is. What we really can't do too much about that. Is right now, I don't think that supporting it or not supporting it is the matter. It's about not giving people the choice to make a choice between the two. Like some of that stuff, we just got to keep to ourselves and use that as motivation to go affect change elsewhere. Right. If like bro said, he thinks drug dealers are cool. I'm like, all right, then. If you think drug dealers will censor the community, how about you go do something to change that fact, or change whatever it is that makes you believe that drug dealers are. Go do what they're doing, and then make the drug dealers not necessary because now you've replaced them and you've taken over their spot for however it was you felt that they were necessary to the community. Like that was crazy, or key.
That was wild
to the community. Like Donald Trump says a lot of dumb stuff. That was probably the dumbest thing that I've heard.
That was dumber than anything Trump could have said, y'all.
Bro, and he got a platform for us. Like, ain't nobody really paying attention, on average to a lot of stuff that we say. But when you say something that's dumb, like I feel like these content creators may just say stupid stuff to get attention sometimes.
I do too. 100%. They get, this is money. And there's a lot of money with YouTube. There's a lot of money in content creating. So you're right. Just to say something as stupid as that was gonna in front of Dr. Umar. He's gonna kill you with that. So that's a viral moment. And I think all of these content creators, they're chasing just the viral moment. I always encourage people, especially with me in this platform. I always say, don't try to go viral. My goal is not to try to go viral. My goal is to have an authentic following, no matter how long that takes. So just those viral moments, what you do is you have people come in for a second. You have to keep trying to top that moment by saying more and more dumb shit.
Over and over.
Like, how can you beat the last time?
You look at everybody, if you look at anyone who's popular, they all had a viral moment. One of the ones that I think everybody's really familiar with is Kim K. You know what her initial viral moment was.
Oh yeah,
but ever since then, every time she goes viral, it's for something dumber than what it was that she initially did. And she's been great at monetizing it. You know, she's a success. She's a great business story. But she still proves to say, hey, you know, all you gotta do is play crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just play a role and find a character, and you'll just keep going viral behind that. And a lot of these people are trying to like replicate those things. You know, there's a lot of Kevin Samuels had his lane. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a lane. You say like Yancey has a lane. Everyone like when people come behind y'all are gonna follow the blueprint that you guys have laid because you guys have done it successfully. But what I appreciate about platforms like yours, professors, you know, Wall Street Wills and all those guys is that the way you guys do it, you guys aren't trying to take the shortcuts. Y'all are not doing anything that's going to hurt your people. You guys aren't going to do anything that's going to tell your following to go out there and shake ass or sell vagina. Y'all are talking about things in a manner in which you're saying convey and then also demand respect from the people that you're going to have the conversation with. So I really, really appreciate that about you guys, and I admired about everyone you've had on the panel so far.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. Because I mean, it's to me, it's a responsibility. The moment you grab a microphone, it's your responsibility to do better.
Yep.
You know, because no matter how many people is under your voice, that's your audience. So they want to hear what you got to say, and you got to tell them it's either you're going to lead them down a hill to the end, or you're going to build them up. I try every chance I get. I might say, little funny stuff here and there, but the joke always has a lesson with it. And that's just how it has to be. We got to each one teach one. And I truly believe in uplifting our people. The moment you get a microphone, it's your responsibility. So I'm with it, man. But every time, man. But this was a good conversation, my guy. I really appreciate you for jumping on. Always a pleasure, my guy. Blockchain in the building. Of course, man. And also, thank you to everyone that's in the chat that joined the show and keeping the chat live and active. You guys are the real MVPs. But we're going to keep this going. Stay tuned. Sunday, we got Grown Men Talking, open conversation. It's going to be a dope one. And then, as I said, in the upcoming weeks, we got a special guest that's going to be on our Sunday panel. So please stay tuned for that. Also, next Tuesday, Grown Woman Talking. It's going to be a fire episode. I am looking forward to that one as well. This channel has a mission, and I'm going to get it done. I promise y'all. So, with that being said, I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Bros.